The world's definitely evolving though on tattoos.
Absolutely. I was
Like,
going to say that.
I work with I have so many coworkers who have tattoos, not just on their arms, but on their necks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like
that's what he wanted to get today. And I said, hey, brother.
Face tattoos are super common now. I've seen many a patient with face tattoos, and it's just like, don't be surprised when they let somebody buy complexion into a job with a face tattoo because they didn't look too closely until it was too late.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, my cousin...
We thought it was a birthmark.
Well, my cousin
it's an upside down cross.
That's in their little... me and him, like... Because I was... when my cousin got hired at Cisco, he was like, let me show you this. This is like kind of what attracted me to it. So in their little hiring thing, it says, tattoos, we love them. Piercings, we don't care. And it was like basically this thing like in writing, like we're just looking for qualified people. We don't care about their
It's the decarification of the workplace. But on that note, this is the Bullshit for Your Health podcast, episode 52. We are here at oh shit. Do we have fuck. Okay, so it's me, Tete, Devonte, and T-Vonte. But I'm trying to realize but today is kind of like not kind of. It's a day that America likes to remember. So we're recording on 9/11. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to start super heavy, but I actually got a really interesting conversation that I wanted to ask you guys because I did not know it was 9/11. I was thankfully blessed enough to not have anybody who was at the Twin Towers during that day or who lived in New York and just was damaged by the terrorist attack. So it's not something that is steadily on my radar every year. It's not what I look for. You know, I pay homage when it comes around, but it's not something that I always like, oh shit, today is that day, right? So I was at work last night and literally it was past 12, so it was 9/11. And I was like, yo, what day is it? And like one of my coworkers goes, are you serious? You know? And I was like, no, yeah, what day is it? She's like, it's 9/11. You can't forget that day. And, you know, and it wasn't like she was being imposing or critical. It was just more of like a thing, you know? And of course, she had the complexion for the protection of the collection. But to me, it was just kind of like, but like, and like, for a second, I was about to make a joke, like, you know, like, but then I kind of turned around and looked at the room, which was filled with people with the complexion for the collection, people with the protection for the collection of the protective collection for whatever. White people, okay? And I was just basically just like,
whiteys. Oh
shit, like, I'm in the wrong room to have anybody interpret this joke that I'm about to say, which I don't mean it for it to be to desecrate anybody or anything that was lost that day. But to me, because it doesn't seem like, because I'm a black man, because I know that this country has had multiple tragedies that are of the terroristic nature, perpetrated by people of this country on my culture and my people, that it's tough for me sometimes to look at one tragedy as being more so groundbreaking than another, especially when tragedies that I want to be expressed at a national level, like remembered at a national level, just aren't, you know? And I think for the first time since 2001, personally, I've seen that sentiment on a much larger scale. Like I texted you guys this earlier where it was like it was trending on Twitter that says all buildings matter. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of like surfing through Instagram, looking at IG stories and this morning there was, I went through like 20, 30, 40 IG stories and didn't see one remember or whatever. Now in the evening, I've seen like a couple, but it's still like every 5 slides. Yeah. And I have a very multicultural friend base on IG. So I wonder if that's the case. Is it a thing? Like, do we as people of color not necessarily see ourselves as represented in the remembering of 9/11 survivors? Which again, rest in peace to everybody who lost lives during that crazy, crazy, grotesque terrorist attack. Like, I'm not here to take away from anybody who is suffering or mourning on this day. I just sincerely have a question. Like, it just seems very interesting. It seems like being like people of color at this time right now, and I don't want to necessarily just say people of color, just say black people, because we feel like we've been terrorized, and not we feel like we have been terrorized, and it's been on the mainstream news forefront every day, you know what I'm saying, especially these last few months, that like we're just not here for it this year, you know? It's like, really? Like y'all want to, so y'all can remember this, but you can't even understand Black Lives. Like, what the fuck are we doing? You know?
There's definitely an awakening this year, and that's just, and that's just the case with everything. And this day has come, and like you're saying on IG stories, you see it. I don't think I have any black friends who posted anything about 9/11.
I don't think I had any. I had like nobody post about it today.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, in years past, like remember, this is like the 19th anniversary, right?
Yeah.
So like in years past, I may have seen it, whether it be Facebook or Instagram, but
only
this year.
Only reason like I really can remember the date is because my brother's birthday is 9/12, so it's like it's like something that it's crazy, something that's more near to me.
Do you think it's also because like not even just the black community, but America as a whole, just we don't feel super patriotic as of right now? Like even if the person with the mouthpiece right now at the head of the country is super America quote unquote first in his speech, is American exceptionalism, especially when you saw at the RNC, that was all they talked about. We know, like as Americans on the ground, information is so easily spread now with social media that it's hard for you to give us this message of American essentialism or American exceptionalism, and then have a day that used to be a day that we all become unified as Americans, a day that we all think about how for the second time ever, we had a foreign attack on American soil that took hundreds of lives. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like we're not at a point right now where it's like there's more like, yes, remember, but we have stuff going on right now that needs to be handled. You know what I'm saying? That we can do something about.
But I feel like people like, and this is crazy. Like, I ain't saying what happened, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like
nobody's saying that.
Yeah,
nobody is saying that.
But like, I feel like
we're not caping for Osama bin Laden.
No. But like, I feel like people can kind of make it a bigger thing just because the people that did the attack were people of color. Like, they were Muslims, from not only Muslims, but Muslims that were brown. Mm-hmm. Compared to, like, bro, these white kids come and shoot up schools and do way more damage. Columbine, Parkland, like, we can name them for days. And, like, I feel like those don't get as memorized. And so, like, people don't, like, say, because I think, like, the firefighters and police officers were involved. And, like, that's, like, America to people, and compared to, like right here in our home state, like Virginia Tech, like that dude took out mad people. Yeah,
and I don't want anybody to get too bogged down in the numbers case of it from what Devontae is saying, because I feel like what you're saying too is like it's the image of what 9/11 is versus what a Columbine is, where the face of America, which is white, firefighters, police officers,
like also like, and like I'm saying, like race has to play in it, in my opinion. Because they were from Saudi Arabia. Because, when you look at documentaries on like Columbine and all of them, they'll say they were just mentally disturbed students that needed help. And so when I'm like, they kind of like they kind of give them empathy compared to like, they don't use terrorists with that word compared to like, those guys are terrorists, but like I feel like with the guys at Columbine and the guys, they're terrorists. It's terrorism. It's terrorism. Would you agree?
And not even like to go further with the race debate on it. It's like Columbine was a shooting at a school where it didn't just affect minority people, but we've had mass shootings that have targeted. What's it called? Minority populations in America, like the Vegas shooting where he went into the gay nightclub and shot over 50 people. Orlando, my bad. And it's like that was a strategic terrorist attack on a protected group, or I want to say, what's it?
That's an oppressed group.
Oppressed group. There you go. Thank you. And then you have again like the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombings back in the the 30s, 40s.
I thought it was the 20s.
20s? Okay. Yeah, where they destroyed Black Wall Street. You have the multiple lynchings.
Columbia. South Carolina? Was it Columbia? I can't remember. It was in South Carolina where he went to the church.
Oh, yeah.
And the cops gave him Burger King afterwards?
Yeah. The Dylan Roof fucking murder.
Yeah, they killed him right.
Like, these are terrorist attacks against oppressed people in America, but because we have been shown these last few years that, not even a few years, but for the entirety of America, but especially these last few years, that when people, specifically people with the complexion for the protection of the collection, view American people, it is not brown people, it is not black people, it's not people of color. So when you have something that is as tragic as 9/11, and a lot of the people who are being murdered in this instance because they work in the trade towers in New York are Caucasian, because a lot of the people who are first responders are police officers and firefighters, which again, police officers in and of itself is a career that we just dictate to be a white profession done by white males. You know what I'm saying? It seems to be the good guys versus the bad guys, which are the brown people, regardless of, for whatever reasons, we've antagonized a culture separate from America to have them even try to commit a terrorist attack. Again, not fucking giving any reason for the hateful and just evil act that those terrorists brought upon this country. You know, it was a very interesting morning for me, just kind of taking it in for a second and going, wait, this just seems different. It seems, and it's always been a conversation.
I personally believe with time, it won't be as big of a thing, because I remember my grandmother, she was born in 1937, and her 9/11 is D-Day. I mean, not D-Day, not Pearl Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
I remember sitting there with her. She's like, "You don't know what today is?" And I'm like, no. So I think honestly, we live in such a fast-paced time because we're on our phones. I think the people it hit actually will remember it, but
the Pete Davidsons of the world.
But others, it fades because there's always something else. See, the creation of CNN is at your face news, where
24-hour
news cycle compared to when our parents were growing up.
It was strictly what has to happen.
6 o'clock news. And then maybe a occasional hey, we're stopping it, the president's been shot.
You know what a good movie that's a comedy that kind of illustrated that? Anchorman 2. This shift Anchorman 2 really highlighted the shift in how the news changed from being an actual informational piece where if we don't have anything to report on, or it's nothing factual that's been peer reviewed that we're going to report on, we just don't have a story to run. So we rerun a story that is factual. And you might hear the same shit, but that's all that's happened this week. Versus, if we continue to flood with new, exciting, maybe not all the way factual, or maybe in some vein or shape of the way is bullshit that's being force-fed so that we can push you guys to buy a certain product or think a certain way, and ratings go up, nigga, my bottom line feels for that. And that's how, in the movie, Ron Burgundy continues his career, because they realize that they can just fucking entertain versus, actually inform. They can make more money. So, yeah, man. But again, so I guess all we'll say on that, or I'll say on that, is rest in peace, everybody who lost their lives on 9/11, September 11th, 2001. And hug a loved one, man. But America has had a lot of crazy instances that if this hurts you and affects you, and you're somebody who doesn't feel super empathetic towards another person calling out about a tragedy, maybe take a second and check your privilege and listen,
Amen.
Yeah. But that's that on that. Shit, man. I hated to start so heavy. How's y'all's week been? I feel like I haven't really... I saw you at the gym. Mm-hmm. Haven't seen Tete. You had your last day of fucking work. Yeah, how was that?
Yeah, last day was, of course, hectic, crazy. But there was a party afterwards, so
where
nice.
Did y'all in the Tap House Brewery or something?
Yeah, there was a.
Is there a new brewery?
There's a new brewery in Warsaw, which is across the bridge. A few miles from Tappahannock, and we met up at the Tap House. It was about 30 people, and keep in mind, this is my third or fourth going away situation. Mm-hmm. So that was
for
really
the same place.
Yeah, like I all the time. And this was not supposed to be. It was not supposed to be this big, but I think with COVID, people were looking for an excuse to go out.
Nah,
you know?
nigga, they love you up there. Nigga's a rock star.
You're like a god to them?
Nah,
Yes.
Nah.
It's like you remember when Kanye had his Runaway tour and he would come out on stage and play the one note and everyone would just fucking scream. Kanye walks in and then when he slides down his car to clock in, they go yes.
Work will be done.
Yeah.
Work will get done. Easy.
he comes in at noon and after they've been swamped for 4 hours. It is okay. I am the captain now.
It's like your life's gonna be safe. You just we will live now. We were unsure.
Shit, man, but that's good. That's dope. You have your next assignment lined up and all that good stuff.
This coming week, yeah.
So fuck yeah,
you know,
revolutions,
moving on.
Mercenaries. We're making money out here.
It's still like Richmond.
Hampton. Yeah,
okay.
but so I'll stay here and just travel there.
Okay.
Yeah, come back.
Me and
It's a night shift position, so it'll be like Jabari. I won't handle it as well as Jabari, I promise you.
We switched to the night.
What made you pick up night shift?
That was available, and that was a max contract. So just do whatever the money sells you.
So we have to do like days, like back-to-back days and shit, because I mean like travel like boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Or do you like get a room for your 3 days, you down there, and then whatever? Because I know like y'all be working like 4 to 3 days back-to-back.
Yeah, if it was far. So when I did my assignment in Maryland,
Yeah.
I stayed at my parents' house. And I just, did my days back-to-back, stayed at my parents' house. But with Hampton, it's about an hour away, which is about the same amount of time as it takes for me to get to Tappahannock.
Okay.
So
I see if you swab it, you got Jones in every city. So it's like you already got a place to live.
If you swab,
you know what I'm saying? Only certain niggas really got that type of steam.
Yeah.
No, I just do it from here.
No, I was just saying for your kids' virtual school, you want to try to like stay up a little bit even when you get back.
Oh yeah, and that actually presents an interesting situation. Like I can just be here and sleep while she's on virtual school,
And then like listen out if she needs help.
Yeah, she'll wake me up at 11 something for lunchtime, and
Hey,
you're the cafeteria lady now.
adult that makes me food now.
Yeah, come on.
It is time to eat.
You're like tag in.
I got 30 minutes. Come on.
Shit, I got something prepared, just like
Yeah, bro. I had
some
to
bread, be ready.
Right.
You know where the noodles at? You know how the microwave is up there. You know what I'm saying?
You got the stool.
Yeah, you good?
Because it's a little high up, man.
Right. Hot pockets in the fridge.
I tested that too. I was like, can you reach the microwave? And she was like, yeah, I can reach the microwave. So,
she said it like, damn.
Yeah, I mean,
So you're giving up?
I guess.
I can reach
It's
it.
gonna be hard for when you start doing that independence, man. Like saying, like you can make your own.
Nah, she get it. You gotta ease into it.
Niggas waiting for that. Like,
I remember when
it's gonna be hard when she doesn't need you for everything anymore. That's it.
I remember my grandma when for the first time was like, she was like, you can use the microwave yourself. I was like, yeah, they're like,
Nigga, when'd you learn that though?
I was
Please don't tell me like 14.
no. I was like 6 because my grandma was like
Wait, bro.
a very old.
We got microwaves at 6 years old? Yeah.
So what?
Yeah, I'm stupid.
Microwaves.
No, nobody. I like that.
No, it depends.
We have
I had one.
I mean, yeah.
Y'all had
Look, I'm older than y'all. I know I had one.
My grandma's house we had a microwave.
Bro, what?
Like, cause she would be like,
When were microwaves invented?
Damn, nigga, y'all was broke.
Now, cable, that's another story.
Yeah.
But we definitely had a microwave.
I always had. I've never like. This is the first time in my life I've not had it because I've always had cable as a kid.
Oh, did you?
They my mom.
But like cutting the cord now is way more inexpensive. We're not gonna talk about fucking cable on the goddamn fucking podcast.
Well, no, that my parents don't believe. My parents don't believe in like Netflix.
How is y'all's 2
That's
weeks?
the good.
And my dad was also
Shit, though.
institutionalized, so like,
Shut the fuck up, nigga.
he said, but he was telling me he had Netflix in there though, because he said, yeah, niggas had cell phones, bro. So
Did he have iPads and stuff in there?
No, his brother got an iPad in there.
How did he get that? Is it like is it like contraband?
like
security?
We got to know for the tablet, like us as the civilians.
Wait.
It's security though. They profit off. They bring the cigarettes. They work the system. They get paid. I know,
by
like
the inmates.
I like
Yeah.
I like how you just was like, I'm asking him to security.
No, my uncle got the prison issue one. Like they give him those now, but his was like 150.
Do they allow you to watch porn on those shits, or is it like parental?
Hey, Brian,
You gotta use your cell phone.
They doing
You
that.
gotta use a cell phone.
Nah, but you know how they could.
Nah,
You
you
probably
can-
would do something like
but
that,
you
like
can
block
ship-
some sites and
You
shit.
can,
Like,
no, you
yeah.
can ship.
I can't get on Facebook or like Best Buy. Like,
Nah, bro. This dude named Sylvester, I know he was on Facebook because they let him out for his mom's funeral.
He
and
already
then
had
he
it
took
all lined
pictures.
up.
Nah, I don't think he had bitches lined
Like,
up.
you know what I'm saying? Like he got Facebook in it, so he's getting on Tinder and shit. He's like,
one
where
night
you at?
only.
Where you at?
One night.
Conjugal visits the 25th of every month.
Yo,
No, but like
One night only
it's
continue.
crazy. Like in America, we got rid of those. But like when I went to Amsterdam and visited a prison, they said like it's so. He was like the conjugal visits really motivate them to act right in here. And he was like, because you know, like he was like, if we be like, yo, we're gonna take your conjugal visit away if you don't act straight, they be like, yo, I'm about to clean, bro. I'm about to clean this little joint. Like, wow.
Wow, you treat people with respect.
Power.
You treat
Well,
people
they
with
say-
respect. You
That's
treat
it.
people with fairness. You treat people nicely, and they might do
Well,
the same.
they
with you.
said
That's what
that-
I hear there. You know,
No, their motto there is we treat them like humans. Guess what they act like?
humans.
Savages.
Yeah.
He said when you treat people like savages, they tend to act like savages. Like I was looking at the world's
People
most,
gonna do what they gonna do.
but no, I
Well,
was
nah, but let's be honest. People are more willing to go do what they're gonna do if you realize you in a what 8 foot by 4 feet cell, and you got one little fucking steel bin to shit in that probably your partner.
Nah,
Yeah,
bro,
fuck
their
that
cells
shit.
look like, bro. Some of this, bro. So like in Amsterdam, and I hate to go. They got their key to their own.
Wait, isn't that where ASAP Rocky was locked up?
No, he was Switzerland.
Switzerland. No, in Amsterdam. So you get the key to your cell. So like you can let yourself out during certain times.
That's progressive.
So, like, the most-
with no it's no monitor, like oh cellmate 32's out of his cell at 4 a.m. in the night.
and
Like,
then there's so much trust because like
why do you got a key? Yeah,
like
that shit sounds stupid.
there's so much trust there because like one of the dudes like we went in his actual little cell and it's really like a little mini apartment and they was like who was like where is he at? And they was
does
like,
it depend on the level of the crime?
Yeah, like what kind of crimes are these niggas committing?
no,
like,
murder there. I remember murder there is only like 20. You kill somebody, you're gonna do 20. 20 is like
20
kinda
years?
big.
Yeah, okay. The years sound fine there, but what I'm talking about is like
Shit,
the-
20?
Don't be talking
Well,
about
America-
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying,
No,
I'm
America-
gonna find like
If you got a
shit,
good
like-
lawyer in America, you might get less than that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like,
nigga, it was
Nigga
self-defense.
Mhm.
You were in his house.
but no, like,
a
I'm
drunk driver that kills
Caucasian.
But he
somebody?
was black.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. You
But,
right.
like, nah, they
Two
were-
years.
So, like,
With a
one-
slap on the wrist.
the drone was like,
Get a
we was like,
bonus.
we was like, where Brew at? And they was like, oh, he out in the community. We all look, he out in the community, but he like, yeah, we trying to, he at work, bro. He come back here, like, he got to be back here at 5. He just
Okay, Jeffrey Epstein.
He's like, he just, you know, like, he just spend the night here. He doing like 3 years here. He comes spend the night every night. But during the day, we send him to work.
That's crazy.
That's
Okay.
wild.
But like, they have their own, they have their own system.
How the fuck did we get on jail?
I don't know.
We was talking about them tablets.
All right, relax. Let's bring it back real quick and focus.
I forgot.
Come on, host. What was
Who's in
your
line?
Yeah.
I tried to bring it back, but y'all niggas just bulldozed through it. How was your week been, nigga?
Bro,
Let's get this.
Bro, I realize I'm sick of white
Oh,
children.
this is my joke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Seven.
Any liquor here?
Because my right hand.
You wanna do a shot of tequila?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Can we do a shot of tequila?
Isn't any liquor
You
here?
want to do a shot of tequila?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah.
Oh,
But nah, I'm just tired of whiteys.
So you got to get up.
okay.
I gotta get loose.
Cause I actually have a story on that too.
Nah, bro. One of bro. I had to deal with this kid this weekend, bro. This week, bro. He got mad because his guardian wouldn't give him computer time, like the 15 minutes he said he deserved. So he got mad and he broke he broke glass.
No.
Bro, take a shot.
Wow.
Bro. We about to act like a hoarder 90 minutes, bro. Give the tequila.
Take a shot. It makes the ass taste better.
Give me two of them shit.
He might be the one with his cheek spread.
Bro,
All right.
bro, okay.
All right.
See,
All
you
right.
lost.
See-
No, you lost
See
the
how
privilege
niggas don't
to say
See how
what
niggas
your
don't,
week
you know what I'm
was.
saying? Like, you can't tell niggas shit, you feel me?
So, how was your week, too?
My week was straight, so I had to, you know what I'm saying, look across from a nigga I'm about to steal in a second. I'll fuck with you. My shit was straight. It was cool. It was productive. It was,
Yeah,
it was
nigga back in the
fun-filled,
gym. You know?
yeah.
How many days you get in
I'm
this week?
sore as fuck today. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You have
Yeah,
Monster
that's
Course still?
You look like you got a little pump.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm not there no more.
Where
You know, I
at
switch shits every. You know, I like to switch it up.
now? You at the...
I'm not telling where I work it on this.
All right, but you
this,
still at the same
platform.
Here you go.
Are you still at the same agency though?
Yeah.
Like they help you find?
Yeah.
Damn, I hate to be that nigga, but like, we get some. You got some salt?
Oh,
and
nigga want
lime?
to salt and lime and
You
shit.
know, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
but
you
like,
like
bougie. I'm not trying to be bougie. Bougie,
Not
right?
but it is.
Like you don't have me over here. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Would you like a lime with that, sir?
I would appreciate it.
Nah, I'm good.
And
And at halftime, I'm getting you back, bro. Like, come on,
Bro, you should get your
Is this
own.
already cut, or you gotta slice it up? It ain't nothing to slice it up the lime though.
Nah,
You can give me the knife. I'll slice
But,
it up right here. Like, what's up?
It ain't nothing.
Look, Fruit Ninja over here, nigga. Come on.
my man's bro, his apartment, bro. He brought a little bar cart joint.
Hold it in front of you. Help yourself.
I mean, shit.
All right, but your week was good.
Yeah, week was straight. I mean, reconnected with some people. Saw LB this week, so that was nice.
Yeah. I was hoping he could come through tonight, but
He's in DC.
He got plans.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't.
I should have.
I mean, but no, there's a lot to do. You know what I'm saying? As you can imagine, when you come like back home from a year,
Across the country.
you know what I'm saying? Like I gotta be on a tour to see like everybody I need to see type shit.
You seen you number 3, bro? I texted him like 2 months ago for his birthday.
It was his
My
birthday.
Trey?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, he was gonna do something, but
But,
COVID. Yeah.
Definitely was like my number 3, but yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
What?
He was He was like, yo, you're number 3, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I don't say that.
Oh.
Have you seen?
I would never say like, yeah, you're number 3. I would say personally, this is just me. I would say Trey.
Oh. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understand.
Oh, good God. Okay, whatever. Nigga, yeah.
Understand.
Nigga.
But
Nigga,
have
go
you
over
talked-
there, nigga.
have you
Right.
talked-
Yeah. Get on the fucking wall, nigga.
Put your deuces up real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Have you seen him recently? I'm gonna talk to him recently. I wouldn't go see him just because.
Shit.
New York is.
This how
I talked to
you.
him like 2 weeks ago.
This how you know we ain't pay dues.
no.
You over here like, what?
Nah.
What are you referring to?
No, I'm just knowing that. Like, I just
guy-
know, like,
Yeah, I'm just like, huh?
I know seeing him is
Please,
mad
you're so
dangerous
wrong.
right now because, like, they really like hesitant towards people going to New York, just because it's like the population and.
Oh no, I mean I haven't been up there,
Oh, yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
I talked to him like last week.
You were here when Jay was here, weren't you? Oh, you weren't. Fuck.
No.
Jay came down.
Yeah.
Jay came down and basically
What
told
is-
us that shit's like really taken very seriously up there with COVID.
So what they telling them they can't do?
It's not even anything like that. It's the same in most states, but people are actually following the ordinances.
Oh, yeah.
You look like Jay came in here with a mask and was like, when I clowned him, he was like, "Oh, bro, like, maybe in a second." He was like, we take this shit seriously in New York.
We
You
can
know.
do that together, my nigga.
Oh, nigga, what?
Well,
That's
okay,
what's up.
All
yeah,
right.
that's fine. Everybody take your tequila
Salud,
shot,
yeah,
and then I'm gonna
salud.
tell y'all about.
The remainder of us who did it together will toast to
Hey,
vibes, man.
The essence is out.
that I'm blessed for.
My nigga, cholesterol.
That's hot. That's what my
Damn.
grandma would say, blood pressure or something.
Yeah, you gonna raise that shit.
This nigga,
Bro, my job, we make
Did you do leg day today?
Bro, my job today.
Did you do leg day?
What's
tomorrow?
We already clapped.
going tomorrow? Where's your membership goals too?
I got a Planet Fitness.
Oh,
Well, that was like a
right.
mukbang for the fucking
Right.
podcast on X. We probably should have paused for that. Oh
In
shit!
that shopping center.
Content.
Brand new shopping center.
Is it content?
Where the Walmart at?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't like that Walmart. Bro.
Okay,
I
so
don't like anyone.
let me get into my week real quick, and then we can get into some real facts once, so we don't get into
Walmart, we heard in the riff-raff in.
30 minutes here, and
Fucked
we'll stop for a music
going
break and
away.
we'll do our shit. But no, my week was kind of one of those weeks where you're not operating at your most efficient, let's say. I had 2 pretty hard days at work. I made a mistake my last shift. And it wasn't a very bad mistake. Patient didn't die or anything. But, you know,
You're never going to make that kind of mistake.
The way that the doctor had put in the lowering the potassium order, 6.1 potassium, they wanted calcium gluconate, insulin, D10 whatever to help whatever. She didn't order it in the way that, like, you automatically know what it's for. And I had so much going on that when she came and verbally told me, I kind of had just, like, looked at the shit and was like, wait, why are we giving calcium gluconate? Calcium's fine. Potassium 6.1. Okay. And then she also had, like, so I just basically fucked it up once, but didn't fuck it up in a way that his sugar went down or anything like that. I just kind of, like, didn't do it in the way that it was the most efficient. So when we did it again, because his potassium did lower to like 5.4, she wanted another run of it, but that time I hit it correctly. You know what I'm saying? So
you made a mistake.
Nah, but listen. You know when you're the only black male, the only male on shift, everybody's white, and you know they looking at you know what I'm saying. You like
your mistakes mean more than their mistakes.
Yeah, so I felt it. This
even
week.
if it's the same mistake.
I felt it this week.
You
know what I'm
10
saying?
times better.
Yeah.
And it was tough, man. And like I'm gonna be honest, I had to like breathe for a second and remember who the fuck I was, you know. But like the gym was great for this week because I just got out some frustration about that shit. But all I say for me, guys, if you're black, if you're in a professional space, especially where you have lives that are at stake that you're dealing with, you're good enough. You are good enough. You belong in these spaces, and you are making a difference.
This the last one?
We got other shit though.
What you got?
Oh, my bad.
Finish.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what was going on.
Nice though. Horny goes. It's smooth.
But yeah. So that is that. And
Did y'all talk about Odell Beckham wanting to shit on women last week?
No, we're gonna
this week.
We'll get that. We'll get into that in a second. So we're gonna take a quick music break, and then we're gonna get into some bullshit of the fucking week. Okay. I'm back. We're back, and we're gonna do a music break. So the first song we're gonna do is "Trifling Hoes," requested by yours truly, Devontae Short. All right, let's get it.
Leo, flip the beat, yo.
Fuck that bitch, ain't no respect for her. That little bitch turn her back so quick, you ain't got no check for her. I seen the type of nigga she fuck with, no respect for her. Act like a dog, then I take you to a pet store. I fuck her crazy, then I move on to the next whore. I do you dirty, how you knocking on your ex door. You think you bougie, but you bougie for the internet. Your pussy dookie, gotta spit on it just to get it wet. She fucked on Goofy, said she wish that she could take it back. Told me how you hate the clout, now you chasing it. I can treat you like a clown, bitch, you waiting on the purse. I can really put you down, bitch, you waiting on the first. She say, why ain't fuck her twice? I say, I'm waiting on my perks. I can see your cousins now with their faces on your shirt. Hold on, wait, hey, bitch. Hold on, wait, bitch. Hold on, wait, bitch. Hold on, wait, bitch. Hold on, wait, wait, bitch. Hold on, wait, bitch. Hold on, wait, bitch. Told me how many niggas you fuck. You tell me how many dicks you suck. I'm like, yeah, freaky bitch, so we should take a turn. When I fuck, I say I'm coming back, they never learn. Smoke a hotel bathroom out and let the water run. Count 100,000 cash, then they cut my thumb. Bitch, you can't lie to me, you can't tell me we can't fuck. You was acting so unsure, we was taking turns. You know damn I fucked your friend, bitch, you got the nerve. You was trying to catch us up when you got the word. Answer the phone while he was calling, then I made her nervous. He didn't even know I was at her crib, I'm like, damn, I'm dirty. Call with phone when I left, I said her pussy murder. Plus she stayed next to the house, I had to close the curtain. Fuck that bitch, suck a rich nigga dick. Ain't the only rich nigga, I can't never give you kiss. Let you suck it with the ice, you gotta mix it with the spit. You can be my hoe forever, I can never give you shit. Hold on, wait, hey, bitch. Hold on, wait, bitch. Hold on, wait, bitch. Hold on, wait, bitch. Hold on, wait,
Yo, I want Boston to win.
I put it places.
All right, yeah. So that again was what the fuck was that?
Called Trifling Hoes.
Trifling Hoes by Lil Durk off of his 2020 album.
Just Cause Y'all Waited Too.
Just Cause Y'all Waited Too. All right, so we're gonna get to one more little song here, so I can finish my last shot, and it's by Big Sean off his album Detroit 2, and it's called Why Would I Stop? Requested by T-Vonte. All right, let's get it.
This might be positive.
Yeah, whoa. That's what they been waiting on. Critical, ain't no time left on the clock. When it's your time, give them something to watch. I picked out the locks till I buy up the block. And I know I'm a gift, but I didn't got the box. And they want me to stop, but why would I stop? I am unstoppable. Hold up, why would I stop? Bitch, why would I stop? Chill. I don't jump, I dive in it. Hold up. This the reason I'm alive, isn't it? This shit the antidote, this the cure cancer flow. Stop a pandemic and the globe. The product of Oye chopping up the sample flow. Dealer and Pimp C the triller. This shit might go 2 trip for triller though. I see you critical, I'm not hospitable. Favorite rappers, I done cut they umbilicals. Red Wings jersey, B.I.G. look like Pop. The black of the Barrymore, they want to see it ride. I'm going down as one of the guys. G-O-D-D-O-A, dead or alive. I'm laying low, they could be espionage. This ain't no walk in the park, you can't slide. Solution to everyone else around me problems. Next episode, got the whole fucking world watching. I might lead a series, come back like I'm rhyming. Get it now or right now, my only 2 options. So why would I stop? I am unstoppable. Hold up, why would I stop? Bitch, this shit unstoppable. Chill. I don't jump, I dive in it. Hold up. This the reason I'm alive, yeah. The DJ gon' drop this, we made it from scratch. I'm minding my business and all of it's black. My dog on the same way, the motors attack. I don't complain about life, I adapt. I'm at a point if I fuck with a little hoe, it's not just a fling, it's a scandal. I can't be handing out samples. I can't be having 10 baby mamas, that just sound like a job, not a family. And I do this shit for the family. Yeah, that's just the roots I planted. E2, this shit the new standard. Upgraded the city, it got a new feeling, the house that I built. House in the hills, ain't no hills in the D, so we all in the field. Running shit 5K, 3K, Andre. Hero in my hood when they dress like me, that's cosplay. Give a fuck about a threat, nigga, I'm a threat, leaving out the driveway. I never listen to what the eyes say, why when the universe respond to what I say?
Why would I stop? But yeah, no, you were saying which was your favorite album by Sean?
Let me say it correctly. My favorite ones, I know it came out in 2015. Dark Sky Paradise is probably my favorite one.
Okay. Yeah. How'd you feel about I Decided, Hall of Fame, and all the other ones?
I was in high school when Finally Famous came out, so I liked the last song off of Finally Famous because like I only had limited music. Yeah.
You know, like, Sean's always staying with a huge single.
My question, did anybody like the, because I didn't listen to it as much, did anybody like the Metro Boomin one?
I didn't listen to it at all.
It was good. It was straight.
The song?
No, it was the whole album.
It's a collab album. Him, Big Sean, and Metro Boomin.
Oh, yeah. No. Damn, I forgot about that.
That's a good album.
That came out around like Christmas.
That's an album.
Yeah. Technically, that's his album. Technically, that's his last album.
Yeah.
Because then he had the one called. I remember when I was working at Adidas. And
Pull Up and Rack.
Michael, did you like I Decided it?
I Go Legend.
What's your what's the least favorite album by Big Sean? Because like you're more of a music fan than I am, and like some certain artists.
Least favorite album from him?
What's the one?
Probably was I Decided.
Well, what's the one the Control verse was on?
Control was supposed to be on Hall of Fame, but it didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
It was
so which kind of sparked their beef, him and Kendrick, which he also which also sparked the beef a little bit between him and Kendrick, because like Big Sean, you know what I'm saying, on his verse initially didn't give the verse that he gave. Kendrick gave his shit how it was, which was calling out everybody in rap game at that time. And Big Sean went back and did it over. And so it was like this whole thing of like ego and didn't make the album, because in Kendrick's mind it was like you didn't put it on there because I shitted on you. But I think Big Sean was saying like, no, it wasn't just that. It was like some legal shit that he didn't get it cleared. I don't think Kendrick believed it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't believe it either.
I don't believe it either.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, bro, the track is out. So it's like at this point, it's not like you not putting on your album. People have heard that I've already shitted on you. So I don't get why you don't want to put this as a point on your album.
I'm not gonna highlight it, nigga. I'm gonna shoot him some bail. Fuck that shit. Like,
what do you mean?
Like it's enough that we released the song, right? How did Control come out? It wasn't a leak, was it?
No, it was like a Lucy.
It was like my thing is this.
But my bad, it's a Lucy now because of it didn't go on the album. It came out as a single when it came out. It was like which album coming up, Hall of Fame. So yeah,
a lot of niggas drop singles. I'll shoot them to Bill. A lot of niggas drop singles and don't put them on the fucking album, right?
Right.
Uzi did that with 2 of his largest singles, Singing in Paradise and fucking That's a Wrap. Now, Big Sean could have been the nigga who said, oh, this shit was crazy when he heard it, of Kendrick going at everybody. Because remember, he said he heard it. He didn't think everybody would make that big of a deal of it, but he heard it. Like, it was bars. He could have said, nah, fuck that shit. I don't want that on my shit. And just never put it out, right?
But for what reason?
What do you mean?
Like, why do it? Because you're calling people out on my album? Like,
because you're not just calling people out, but calling me out. Like, it's like it's a kind of
like that's some bitch shit to me personally.
It would have been. It would have been. It would have. But listen. I'm giving. But listen. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that would have been some bitch ass shit. He could have did that, but he didn't. He said, "Oh, that's the verse you sent. All right, I'm gonna put the verse out." But then I'm not gonna put it on my album because at the end of the day, you smoked me, nigga. Now it's like for my artistry,
Jay Electronica. Nobody even talks about Jay Electronica on that bitch.
It is
ego. It's like, bro, you know how many albums or verses that people have on the album from other artists that be like, damn, this nigga killed this nigga. Like you said, perfect example. Jay Electronica's album, like Jay-Z was on it as a basic, it's like a joint album. And a lot of joints.
But what I'm saying is, but Jay's not on Jay Electronica's album naming Jay Electronica as she's name dropping everybody else in the fucking rap field saying, yo, you ain't shit to me, nigga.
I get what Jabari's saying is, it's like, imagine putting a piece of art out and then being like, yeah, nigga, I'm better than you. Eat a dick, and then like now you want me to put it like
you wanted me to put it in my first collection? Like the fuck? No, it's out there. It's like I'm not gonna take it away. I'm not gonna go and retroactively say, yo, you dusted me in that. So let's do some real type of clearance shit and say, yo, nix that record. I don't want that shit. You know what I'm saying? At this time, that this record's coming out, Big Sean is a real lauded artist. He's just not gonna put it on his album, which is completely his artistry to choose.
While we're on topic of Big Sean,
but like Big Sean's also had features since then that niggas have dusted. Like Eminem was on the last album.
But you're misconstruing dusted.
I get what y'all saying. Y'all confusing me having a different opinion from me disagreeing. I understand what y'all saying, but I'm saying also. Now hear me out.
Yeah.
Would you make that decision? Because if you would, fine. But in terms of me, my music, my artistry, that looks like a bitch to me. Because it's like, bro, you're saying because you're calling me out on my song, that's an ego thing. Like, bro, like, my ego is so hurt that, oh, you said I can't put this, bro, like, no, this is hip hop, my nigga. That's what hip hop is.
Start off as a competition.
And then it was the biggest song at the time. You'll be dumb to not include that streaming wise.
If you care about sales, yes. But again, the artistry. The artistry, like I get it. What you're saying, like, yo, like the move in your perspective appears to be like an ego hit that made you say, yo, let me take this song that I consider right now to probably be art, to be a good piece of art, and not put it on my album because it made me feel inferior in a way. What I'm saying is, yeah, it made him feel maybe probably inferior in a way, but maybe.
Also, why put it out there? If that's how you feel, you release it.
I think
only into the response how it became. Now you have a problem with it. So I see why the Kendrick their beef started. I'm feeling like him right now. I was like, bro, so why even fucking do this? Like, why even put it out if you was gonna feel this? Like, you knew what my verse was. Now because niggas saying this shit and now
it might have been
a voice behind it. Look, your shit is bruised.
So I 100% agree. Like, here's what I'm saying. I think what a bitch move would have been is if he heard it and said, damn, he's going at me, and then retroactively pulled the song or licensed it.
Or put his verse and put another nigga on the joint. Yes.
All right. Versus now it comes out and he sees the reaction and his ego takes a hit, as any human being would. Now He has I'm saying, bro. You're not gonna
you
sit
have
here.
to eat that up. You have to eat that up,
Bro,
because like
okay,
you chose
yes,
to
what
put it
I'm
out there.
saying-
You knew what I said.
My nigga, yes, you have to eat it up, and I think he did it in the best way possible. Yeah, my nigga, you're hurt. As an artist, I'm sensitive about my shit. I put some shit out. The world tells me not only did Kendrick eat me, but yo, that nigga's good. You know what I'm saying?
I like the issue that also like a thing at the time, like because
that nigga's Jesus. He's Black Jesus.
We gotta put our heads back into 2013. I get what you're saying, but I think I think at that time, like Kendrick and Big Sean were kind of on the same, like they were on the same level. Like people were trying to see where projection they would go to, and like I've heard like a lot of debate in the past where like people say Big Sean is a B-list rapper compared to where Kendrick is with the Drakes and the Coles on the A-list.
But no, that's the argument. That's the argument. So it's like at the time,
I don't know.
People were trying to debate Big Sean as being in the top 4. And then when the Control verse comes out, and a member
Drakes
and listen.
I don't even like Big Sean, but
At the time before the Control verse came out, that was a conversation. Is it a big 4? Is it Big Sean, Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick Lamar? Then Kendrick Lamar comes out on a tape and dusts not only Big Sean and the rest of the rap field, but names Big Sean in his own song.
Because I respect T. I want. All right, this.
Well, hold on. Let me finish this point. So now the public image is, yo, Big Sean might not be in the top tier. Now, me as an artist, as a human being, I'm sensitive about my shit. I think I should be on this level. And as we now know about Sean, he's an emotional guy. My nigga fucking thought about suicide, had to take a fucking year off and go away from his girl so that he could get his mind right because he just wasn't. Like he said in an interview with fucking Nadeska that it came to a point where he said, I didn't even know if I wanted to do this shit anymore because truthfully, I thought maybe I was done. I had reached everything I could and I just didn't have the passion for it. So we know he's an emotional guy. Yeah. I can definitely see this nigga getting that response and going, fuck, like I knew it was this, but like now that I really see, I don't even want that shit out anymore. Nah, that'd be a bitch move. I don't know what to do. Now I'm making my album.
The grown man thing to do would be like,
wait, no, not the grown man thing to do, because the grown man thing to do,
we all fall short, so it's like,
bro, I recognize.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
He had a whole song on his album called "You," talking about himself, his own shit that he deals with, depression. So when you introspect him and you know that about yourself, when it just that's just what it is, bro.
I'm saying right now, you're putting your artistry onto Big Sean. What I'm saying is, I can see Big Sean as an artist saying this, bro. Look, can you not see him being in the studio talking about putting together his next album, putting together this album that he wants to feel, him being an emotional man, and then going, yeah, I just got dusted and low-key fried and publicly humiliated by this nigga song. Do I want to? Does this song now?
How were you publicly humiliated though?
Because before this song, you were talked about as he is in the big 4. He stands next to J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, and Drake.
Still talked about like that.
No, bro. Once that shit, no, he's not. Dude, do you think that
that didn't kill anybody's career?
I'm not saying it killed his career. I'm not saying like.
Oh, this nigga's going crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. T, that's what I'm saying.
You're yelling for no reason.
I'm not yelling. I'm saying,
listen, you're not even trying to hear me. Like, what I'm saying to you is that when Kendrick did that, I think it's about perception and how people looked at it. Now, the ones who like Drake, because Drake also felt some type of way about it and shit, who like, oh, you taking that as a stab? Other people like, there were people who he named that came out like, oh, no, it was a big up to me. They still thought it was a big up because you put my name amongst these individuals. So that lets you know that you recognize me as somebody like, that you're competing against. Yeah. And so you didn't name a fucking, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So somebody, it's like you name the people who like are top tier.
Lucas,
you know what I'm saying? But when your ego gets into the shit, right? And it's like, you're seeing it's like, you're attacking me. Like, bro, like, I respect you. But I'm just letting you know, like, I'm hungry. Yeah. I'm hungry. That's it. I'm just hungry. Like, whatever it is. Like, I can respect that. Like, nigga, I'm hungry too. I bet. And a lot of people responded to his shit with their hunger. So really, if you, instead of taking the insecure route, or whatever, or just like mostly attached to like my ego is fucking hurt, and you would have did what they did. It's like Big Sean could have literally came back with another joint the next day, like and said something and played on it. Versus what she acknowledged on Detroit 2 was that, because he said it in a Nipsey verse, like once Nipsey died, I reached out to Kendrick, whole time. I'm paraphrasing. He put this in bars in a beautiful, poetic way. But he was basically egos were evolved. And he admitted to the shit. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so there's no point about having a match on his jump, bro. He said it himself. It was his ego that was involved into the jump. Yeah. Which I'm not saying I get it. But in the rap industry, I think that you kind of have to build this ego of yourself because, like, bro, niggas don't come for you all the time. You're going to have beef sometimes. And it's just what it is, bro. You have to, like, just kind of take the shit with a win. I don't think at that time he handled it the best way. And I don't think he himself thinks that he handled the shit the best way.
I mean, I think it would have been a bold move for him to put it on the album. Like, I wouldn't blame him if he did, and I don't blame him if the fact that he didn't.
My only thing while we're talking about this is that the problem of, like, bro, you put the song. It's not like you erase the whole thing from streaming. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you were that mad, or it's like, I don't want to put this here because it's gonna, turn your image at this point. Kendrick is a global artist. You are a global artist. Niggas have heard this song everywhere. Right. You are not doing anything, honestly, by not including it in this collection. If anything, it would help your sales. It would help your sales because, bro, like, we already have our view of that. You saying, they're gonna be this way.
But that's the case. So we already have our view of that. I can see Big Sean going.
It's too late.
Listen. So what I'm saying is, I can see Big Sean being at that point saying, it's too late. I can't erase the song. I put it out. I got beat. I can have this idea where I now look more emotional and now make a verse right back to it and be competitive or whatever. But truthfully to me, nah. Like, I wanted to, maybe I'm Big Sean. I'm emotional. I'm not looking at rap as super, super competitive. I send Kendrick this fucking song because I want him on the album. Me and Kendrick haven't really worked together at this time. It's going to be my sophomore, was it a sophomore album? This shit was, whatever.
It was his sophomore.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm ready. People talk to me like I'm gonna be the Big Four. He gets it back. Kendrick's on it. It's hard. I gotta put it out, or I look like a bitch in the. No, that's what I'm saying. Or I look like a bitch in the fucking sphere. Look, I put it out as I thought. Niggas clown the fuck out of me, right? You know what I'm saying? My ego's hurt. Now, in my opinion, it's like what would have been maybe a hard rap moves if he came out and gave a song, put that on the album, and then the next song put a song that's a response to that shit. But at the end of the day, maybe in his artistry, he's like, yo, when I look back at this in 10, 20 years, do I want to look at this as like that moment, or do I want to look at it and be like, yo, this is what like I feel my artistry and where I was at this time, and like not put this moment in history that my ego just doesn't fucking fuck with, like energy wise, on my album. That's gonna be in my catalog. That's gonna be when I die remembered. You know what I'm saying? Like people will remember this already. It's a statement. When they look back at the hip hop annals, they're gonna see Kendrick Lamar 13 demolished Big Sean on his own record. Now when you go look at Big Sean and his catalog of music, I want you to hear what I was at that point, not track fucking 7, Control. Oh, there it is. And that's what like my identity is. That's all I'm saying. So it's like, I get your perspective, but I think me personally as another artist too, like when you're sensitive about your shit, but you're not necessarily in it to be competitive. You're just in it to like, just fucking do your shit, and shit happens because hip hop is competitive. Fuck, man, stuck between a rock and a hard place. And this is where I'm going to go, where, maybe there was a more, harder way to do it,
I wonder if Big Sean just felt like, yeah, shit, Kendrick got this one. This is not my song. Simple. It's something as simple as that.
As an artist, though, that's where you kind of have, like, there's sometimes you reach out to people for a verse because you respect them, and they kill that shit. And they kill it. Damn, nigga. And when you get it's like, shit, like, you kill one of your, I bet, like, on the album, you know what I'm saying?
But it wasn't.
But here's the thing, right? And also why we don't listen. Yeah. Listen, bro, we're just not going to agree. But also why I don't respect this is because, bro, like, in terms of when Big Sean raps, like a lot of rappers, when they talk about shit, they be like, niggas ain't fuck, like, they say bars of like, you're not fucking with me because he's really, this last album, Big Sean does it all the time. He talks competitive, rap is competitive. So you talk this way, but when somebody competes with you, now you have a problem. I just cannot respect that. I just can't respect the decision.
I think it's a different song.
All of your bars saying,
I get it.
All of your bars saying, you ain't fucking with me. But now when a nigga say you ain't fucking with me, you're mad? Bitch. I mean, bitch ass shit.
But there's features where like,
and you go ahead.
This is some bitch shit. So there's features where like you feel like, you put niggas on the verse and they murdered you, but they, they've made your album sound much better.
He wanted him to say some subliminal shit like, niggas ain't fucking with me versus saying who the niggas are that aren't.
He didn't give a fuck what Kendrick did until Kendrick dropped his name. on my song.
I think that's what
like,
it was.
Dude, you said my name. Like, it's like,
hold on, but also you cleared that song.
That's
my
different.
nigga, you cleared it.
No, but
have to go clearance
no, but also,
so it's like you knew it wasn't a problem until
let me ask you,
you got the response.
Oh yeah,
so I can see. All I'm saying, I can see why Kendrick, in terms of their beef, is like.
If you feel this way about him now, imagine how you would feel if let's say he's doing all this shit to drop this album. The Control verse was never dropped because he halted it. And then all of a sudden we get this documentary or we get this story, Hip Hop Underground, with reference tracks of a Control verse where Kendrick Lamar drops Big Sean's name and Big Sean didn't put it out. And there's paperwork of Big Sean's team saying, nah, nix that record. We're not putting that out. How bad does that look? Like, it's like, what? But also, what are you supposed to do in that situation? You sent it to him. You sent it back. It killed. I'm gonna have to clear it. So it's like you're stuck in a rock and a hard place. And
you don't have to clear the junk. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to clear it. Like you have creative license to say who. You know what I'm saying? Verse to get cleared on the album. But here's what my point is this. Right?
I'm saying it's a story. It could be a chink of your armor if you don't because you know that everybody.
Listen to this story real quick though. The fact of protecting, like, all right, I didn't put this on here, my legacy, because, like, when people hear my album in so many years, I didn't want them to this song to be tracked, whatever, right? And, you know, that's why I did it. But it's like, niggas haven't forgot that track. So it's like, we remember, y'all remember that time when Big Sean didn't include that track because Kendrick smoked his ass? That's the story now. You want that story versus, like...
That's not, but to me, that's not the story. The story today is just...
The story, y'all remember that time Big Sean didn't include the verse from Kendrick?
In some ways, because in some regards, you just have to have the confidence. Because, like, for example, like with Jay-Z, like the song "Renegade." If y'all know that, they said M smoked his ass.
Did Eminem name Jay-Z in the track?
No,
I get what you're
I've heard the track. Like what I'm saying is simply, it wasn't if it was a subliminal just. Fucking Drake, all you niggas, and he never said Big Sean. It'd be a slightly different story, but he literally said on the track Big Sean. So it's like
I'm trying to murder all.
But yeah, so it's like I'm trying to murder you, nigga, on your track. Suck my dick.
So that makes this even more of like a.
But it don't give a fuck. It was on Big Sean's track.
Where Sean was at the time with his ego, his narcissism. That was where he was at.
And it's like
that's just where he was at because he didn't. I can see if he just said, "Yo, this nigga who I'm rapping against on this track, I'm better than this nigga." But he named a collective of people.
Listen,
it
on
wasn't
that point,
just you.
On that point, here's what I'll say. I don't know.
Just you.
On that point, I don't know if that's where Sean was at or that's where the label was at. What I will say about this with the new Big Sean album is that, yes, I agree with you. Sean does have boisterous songs where he's talking about, yo, I want to be the greatest and my pen game's this or whatever. But like on this album, to me, I feel like the songs that I more gravitated towards was where he's just simply being boisterous or he's being sort of like, look at me and look at what I've accomplished feat where it's like it's just me versus me and that versus me versus everybody. I feel like he did that on Deep Reverence and I feel like he did that on Respected where it's like a hype beat and he's talking kind of like hold my nuts but like not like you hold my nuts, like no, I'm holding my nuts and this is what's kind of happened in my life. And it seems less to be more of like I'm competing with this, that, and the third. Like he seems more settled in his arrogance when it shows, you know? I don't know, man. I just think the dude's emotional, and I think he's
an artist, bro. Like I also create art too, so I understand you being like you feeling a ways about any type of criticism. I get it. I'm not saying he doesn't have a right to feel. I'm just saying the move that he made at that time.
What's the album?
The move that he made at that time is like, bro, like that wasn't a respectable move. You know what I'm saying? I can see why they had started that beef. But anyways, we got on this because on this album Detroit 2, he addressed that. He reconciled his relationship with Kendrick and they talked about it, which I think is a grown man shit to do. Also to admit on like this whole why I fuck with Detroit 2 and I was talking to Devontae about the joint is because like it's so honest, it's so like here's what I'm going through, but here's my ego still. Like I am been going through this shit, but like I'm still that nigga type of shit, and it makes you feel that way because like all of us go through shit, all of us like have our shit that we you know what I'm saying have to process.
You think we're gonna see another Kendrick?
Big Sean
feature, yeah,
I think so. I think. Listen, I don't think it's gonna be on Kendrick project.
No, hell no.
I think it's gonna be
it's gonna be on Big Sean.
A Lucy. I don't know if it's gonna be on Big Sean. The way you treated that one, it went on Big Sean. So I don't know. You know, but
no, I think they will work together again.
Yeah.
I don't know. The way I feel about the album,
like Drake and Meek.
Right.
Yeah.
It's you gotta go on a forgiveness tour.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Just start forgiving.
Exactly.
Like, type shit.
I don't know. So the album's fucking long. Like, that's my only thing about it. It's like, it's like 20, 21 songs. Any album like that for me, unless it's like banger after banger after banger with a deep interlude and different waves through, which no 20 fucking album song has done that for me ever. So,
some people like long albums. Some people do like that.
Some people like compilation tapes, yes, because they don't listen to music. They play it in the background while they do other things.
But you're saying the Double or Nothing album was great, and it was 10 songs. So
what?
I'm just saying, Big Sean's.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I'm saying,
but like
a short album.
That even goes into me saying like it was just a long album. So I haven't made it all the way through the album. I got to track 13, and like I was enjoying the album as I went through. And the more songs that I enjoyed were the ones where he got personal, were the ones where he had a feature that was very well done. You know, it was enjoyable. Like, I'm not gonna say it was bad. Anthony Fantano, in his own opinion, gave it a 7 out of 10. Me personally, I think it was, 7, 6, 8. If you had any one of those opinions, rating wise, out of a 10 out of 10 scale, that would be a thought out opinion. Because it's quality music with Big Sean. So there's not much more I can say to it. It's only got 2 songs that I've kept in my Serato, but when they're in the gym, they're bangers. Deep Reverence and Respect It. Like, I'm lifting mad weight when that shit comes on. And that's about it, man. I think I think for me too is like more so what I fuck with about Sean is his like holistic demeanor.
It was late night.
Wear condoms, bro. Wear condoms.
Don't worry. Hey, bro. Yo, my man Chase got this saying only children wear condoms.
Yeah, that's why he's about to have it. What? Okay, so, all right, no. But what I'm trying to say is, like, what I liked about Big Sean more so right now is, like, what he's doing outside of music versus inside his music.
Yeah,
like,
bro. Big Sean
growing his hair,
bro.
Smoking sage, burning sage, loving on Janae Aiko. Like, the man just seems to be at peace, going to therapy.
He said some of the realest shit, in my opinion, because I watched his, like, pull up with Joe Budden, and he said he joined therapy because he was saying like sometimes you need to vent to people, but he was saying like when you're like when you vent, and he was like you need a therapist so you can tell the therapist what you feel about certain people without changing the dynamic of their relationship. And he was saying that like when you
not everything needs to be heard by your partner.
Like he was saying, like your partners or your friends. Sometimes you have a frustration with your partner, and you can take it out with your therapist, and it doesn't mess up your relationship because you're talking to your therapist. So I was like, yo, that's some real shit, bro. Like there's times where you need to just vent about shit and tell someone who doesn't know you so they don't judge you or change their dynamic. I was like, I respect you. Now, and that's the thing, it's like, I don't necessarily love the music all the time. And, like, the thing is, like, what I was trying to explain earlier was, like, I like the concepts. I just don't like how they're floated on certain beats. Like, I don't like how it sounds. Concepts I love.
No, I kind of feel like that. You're talking about Big Sean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do kind of feel like that with Big Sean. But I still don't take away the fact that he's a great
about Kevin Gates.
rapper.
You like the concept of Kevin Gates?
Kevin Gates be speaking that real shit, bro. You heard him on the new Internet Money track.
What do you say? Give me a verse what you say.
Talk about it's hard out here, my man. It's hard out here.
Kevin Gates says some disturbing stuff.
Kevin Gates says some real shit stuff too. You know he's a Muslim.
Give him yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be out here hating on a man of God.
Muslims, no.
But I'm saying he do say some wild stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember when we was in college, Kevin Gates was the first one that was open talking about eating booty constantly.
Yeah, but that was also before Kevin Gates found the Lord. All right, so
I think he knew the Lord, and then I think he just.
It's difference between knowing the Lord and fearing the Lord. But let's.
No, look at
was sick.
Reverend Jabari.
He was like,
I'm at a low place in life. No, I'm joking.
Kevin Gates
I've been opening the good book.
Because I used to I'd be like, bro, why is Kevin Gates giving us his fetishes right now? I don't need to know you do this in your spare time, player.
Hmm?
Yeah, bro.
Let him.
Kevin Gates went in
let
detail about his fetishes.
Kevin Gates has gone through a lot of phases.
Yeah.
Just like Kodak Black has gone through a lot
literally.
of phases. Kodak Black also was another one who.
Kevin Gates was talking about like eating ass constantly, sucking toes. I'm like, bro, I'm 19 years old. I'm not ready for this lifestyle.
Okay. Yeah, and Big Sean. Actually, no. Like, are we done with Big Sean?
Yeah, at this point, it's like it's a good album. It's #1 in the country. Congrats!
It made Tattletales by 6ix9ine look like an even bigger failure. Although I personally don't think it's a failure.
It's just lack of promotion to me.
I've listened to it. It's like
what?
A radio play.
Yeah, I mean with 6ix9ine's album, like 6ix9ine, we're used to him being everywhere.
They also did that packaging deal stuff. Like, you can't do that anymore. So
yeah, I mean,
so basically, they used to have like bundles where like if you bought merch, you would also get the album. I don't know, but they've been doing that. They've been doing that for a long time. Because I remember back in 2016 when I went to the Wiz Khalifa Under the Influence tour, you bought tickets and you got the album.
Yeah.
So like, you got a digital copy of the album. So it's like, this has always been a thing. But either way, I'm guessing that, well, not I'm guessing, what happened with that is that it evolved into people just selling like socks, t-shirts, draws, maybe even a goddamn kendama or, like a fucking phone case or something. Wait, hold up. And that would include an album with it, and that would count as an album sale.
Yeah.
It was a big thing last year with Nicki Minaj and Travis Scott when they dropped Astroworld and Queen.
Queen, yeah.
She was very mad that some of her shit didn't get counted, and so a lot of publications such as I think Billboard and other streaming services were saying we're not going to count
the
merchandising, right?
Yeah.
And so 6ix9ine, to his credit, still has a bunch of people buying his merch and buying, I guess, stuff that familiarizes themselves with him. And so that's why he was projected earlier on to sell 150K. Like, I don't know. Like, I personally know some people who, like, I go to for certain things that have, like, the little shark shit he had when he dropped the first couple of nonsense tracks, Luba and whatever.
Yeah.
But because they took that away, he's only projected to sell a small amount. Yeah. But at the end of the day, too, like, I think, like, it's this weird dichotomy we live in where because we're trying to clown the nigga, you know what I'm saying, because of the stuff he's done, rightfully so, it's just kind of like, it just looks all like nonsense to me. Like, do
you think, just from your personal opinion, just like another new, bro, like, because I was listening to another podcast this week, and this shit's crazy. Do you know who, like, #2 and #3 right now?
Who?
Juice WRLD and Pop Smoke.
And on the charts?
Like, album sales are still getting, like, 50K a week. Like,
I can see that.
Yeah.
And they were just like I was listening, and they were like, that goes to the fan base, these two human beings. Like, I was on Spotify today listening.
I think it also goes to the time we're in. Like, I definitely think both the albums were quality albums, so I don't want to take away from the artistry and what their fan bases meant. But think about how, like, when Pop Smoke died and right before Juice died, we immediately got hit with COVID before the next summer where a next new young artist could come out and take the wave. Yeah. So it's like, you're kind of we're still stuck in this past of like, I didn't get to really experience these artists or at least this music to the fullest.
Yeah.
And nothing new, like we were talking about with 9/11 and new tragedies coming in, has come in to take my attention away. So yeah, their albums are going to keep streaming better too, in a sense, because like there's nothing else that you're growing attached to.
I'm a huge like I was listening because like I told you, like, in the car earlier, I can't listen to music really unless I'm in the car, and so like I've been driving for work, and so like I got to listen to a little bit of Juice WRLD's album, and I was just like, wow, like that Wishing Well. I was like, God,
yeah.
God.
What is that? Yeah. So
I was like,
that's the thing about that album. It's so crazy because the dude
he was in his addiction.
Was so adept at telling his story. Like, because let's not say that he was the most.
He's not
He wasn't the most intricate with his bars, It's not like there was double entendres and whatever, but he was able to express his his issues in a way that if you felt any way similar, like you don't have to be doing pills to feel like nobody cares about you in the world. You know what I'm saying? That's why when like he has a song like Wishing Well, which is riddled with lines that deal with like depression, deal with the thought of suicide, deal with drug abuse.
Yeah.
It really connects with a lot of kids, especially again, like we were talking about, how Juice WRLD's music emulates a lot of early 2000s punk rock, like Green Day and fucking Fall Out Boy and shit like that, which was largely which was let's pause. I'm gonna tell you why, because that shit was a white genre, but you still had black kids who were growing up in suburban areas that fuck with that shit.
Green Day fan.
Oh, now
Green Day fan.
Even more so, you have black kids in these type of areas, black kids in inner city areas that also experience depression and experience different types of drug addictions. Plus, white kids who fuck with rock lines and rap music. That of course he's going to be a bigger artist because he's that to the next generation. Each generation is going to have angst. Each generation is going to have anxiety. Each generation is going to have problems. It's like whenever it's this. I forgot who made the quote about the reason why as you grow older you can't understand younger people is that like you forget what it was to be younger. Like that shit's never going to change. Like we understand the world. We're more pessimistic.
I understand like since I've been in my relationship and like been exposed to different music. I understand certain rock music even more because, like, god damn, I've listened to like screamo music recently, and I'm like, these people are fucked up.
It's all like good music. Like, there's a reason why a lot of new people are gravitational towards like certain genres or like certain large artists. Like, there's like, so for example, Nickelback. Like, it's like. People used to hate on Nickelback, but if you listen to Nickelback, like it's like, but it makes sense. Certain songs,
like a happy kind of drink?
Yeah, it's a happy, sad country.
They have respect.
But yeah, it's like a drinking.
No, I was saying. He was saying, "Are you a Nickelback?"
I don't
know. They have my respect though.
I don't know.
I'm a Nickelback fan. I don't understand like why people don't fuck with them.
Like, hey, we're drinking out.
Just like you were saying, it's about the sound. I don't necessarily like
yeah. But the content, I can see why like a wide span of people can like fucking.
But like, it's
relatable. Like, pain and sadness is relatable. Like the same thing with like hard rock music, dude. Like you like I was telling you, like there's one. So when I was going through my shit, what's the band called? Superfly, Down with the Sickness, Stricken, Disturbed. Mm-hmm. I was introduced, because I skateboard, I was introduced to a lot of different rock and hard rock in my younger days. This band, until the last few years when I've been listening to them and actually listening to the lyrics, like, the Stricken song, it's all about a woman just leaving you. That's all it is.
Bro, but you know, like...
everybody can relate to that.
But you know, like, who, like, and, like, I, like, even talk to you, talk to my significant other, talk to other people who's, like, really kids with depression have related to... Little Peep, Little Peep said, I was listening to his album today and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I can't believe you, like, this is a new phenomenon to you when you were the one who showcased 16 lines on the podcast.
I love that song. Especially,
like, and the reason Juice WRLD hits with a lot of people right now because we're in coronavirus at a time when mental health is at an all-time high. You're at home, not working, and all you get to do is get high. They said people smoking weed and dispensary usage has gone up since the pandemic.
Well, I think like 16 Lines is one of the darkest songs I've heard in a long time.
16 Lines is about a joint leaving you and you wondering who the fuck she's gonna fuck when you die. So and because I can't cope with it in a healthy way, I'm gonna do 16 lines of cocaine. Damn. To numb the pain. It's hard, dude. It's hard.
It's like he's very melodic. It sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it's like a lullaby for your dark soul.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you don't listen long enough to have your heart.
Channel the energy.
So you're like, he just starts.
Fuck yeah.
And then like you remember when my man's came to our old spot and he talking about he liked the sex with my ex or something like that.
Oh, I love that song.
But yeah, you remember he was like, I'll sit in bed and listen to that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a dark one too.
But that's the thing. That song. That's the thing. I feel like
I love dark songs too.
That's why Juice WRLD was so beloved because he gave an outlet to emotions that haven't been.
I agree with you more. Like that first album, just takes you through.
Oh my god,
So
that first album is one of the most perfect breakup albums any male heterosexual individual.
Any human being.
No,
Well,
I mean,
that's
truthfully, if you're a male heterosexual, because
it
it's
says like all
in
girls
that
are the
perspective.
same.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying like you can't emphasize with it if you're not, but it's just easy.
And I think it was melodic, and like kids could catch on to it too. Not saying they, because I think even kids don't understand.
Candles, sticks, and stones may break my bones. It's a literal lullaby.
Yeah.
You know,
But I think like
I'm very passionate about that kid.
But I understand like music about pain, anybody can relate to because most human beings have felt pain.
Think about the songs that like span of time.
Span the test of
Do
time.
you believe in love after love?
Yeah,
like Cher.
Even
like,
that song,
Heartbreak.
"If Loving You Is Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right."
Sade.
Yeah.
This is no ordinary love.
What?
Or Lauryn Hill, like X Factor and all that.
Fucking that one nigga, let's go clean water. Take on.
Oh yeah.
It's
Or
all
like-
about
or like,
heartbreak, bro. It's
What
all
Is
about
Love? That song,
sadness.
What Is Love? Yeah.
What is love?
Yeah. Oh,
Baby,
God.
don't hurt me. Like how many? Like truthfully.
Bro, that, Michael Jackson got some. Michael Jackson really sang some verse. I mean, Michael
No,
Jackson-
he sang some. Yeah, he sang some.
Yeah, have you seen? Don't forget about the was it? Don't forget about us. You know what the fuck I'm talking about? The one where he's like,
They don't really care
they
about
don't
it.
really care about it.
Yeah,
That's a bad song.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
like he's
yeah.
sick of the white man's.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But that's
But
what
he
he's
like,
like.
You were not alone.
You were not alone.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
he went
Another
off on
day
that
is
shit.
gone. Oh my
He went
god.
off on that
Oh
shit.
god. Or like even remember the time is basically
nigga,
saying
just-
like you remember when we was happy.
Nigga,
Right?
Billie Jean is about a bitch, bro. Come on,
Trying to
bro.
baby on you.
Like, we don't even gotta go that deep.
Bro, but like even like
I know, we
'cause,
started
like,
late in
I
the
remember I
career.
was telling you like my mom's like
Thriller
a
is
huge
kind of rapey, right?
Thriller?
Thriller.
no, Thriller's just like I don't know. I
Think
just
about it.
listen to the lyrics.
Think about the whole
Fighting
video.
for your life.
Think about the
inside.
innuendo.
Oh shit! I didn't think about the innuendo, but the video.
Thriller's kind of rapey.
It's
Bro, think about the ending when he's got her on the shoulder and he turns around and looks at the camera,
Right.
bro.
I'm about to fuck this bitch up.
Yeah.
Because like people use it as a meme as when you get Shawty alone. But no, like my mom, like I was saying, my mom's a huge Prince fan, and like even some of his love songs, is like wow, because like I realized like that's like love is dark. Like even like when you're in love, like people like some people paint love as happiness, but there's some darkness to love.
What? Of course.
You don't know how deep you loved until the love is gone. Whoa, what? No, but for real though.
Some people say you're never in love till you think about.
No, not that. No. But listen.
You don't gotta go that far.
No. Pause.
But some people say
When do people find out that that's what they want? That's what the love was. When that love is gone. Listen, you don't know how deep in love you were until that love is
And
gone.
then you want to put a
Yo, don't leave you.
45
And she
to your
fucked
head.
2 fucking niggas in the lifeguard fucking shack. I don't know. And it don't hurt you.
What movie are we talking about?
Nigga, I don't know. But basically, it's like for real though. I feel like you don't know how much you love the person until that love is gone, because not until then can you really truthfully gauge
You can't. Yeah. You're
The
saying.
depth
The
of your
loss.
love.
Because even if like you've had a partner and you go on for 60 years and they pass away,
You feel that
then
shit.
you feel that.
You feel in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I do believe people die from a broken heart.
Oh, yeah.
dude,
It's
there's
well documented. Oh.
soul bonded.
Soul
Mhm.
ties. You believe in soul ties?
Have you seen the new season of Rick and Morty?
I haven't seen it all the way through.
Have you seen the one with the dragon?
I don't think so.
Ah, okay. Well,
No. Like,
Go watch that one.
I was watching The Shy, and they were talking about like dudes like the show. He was like, yeah, smash her. He was like, you got soul ties to her, and they were like only like 15.
have you seen those memes where everyone's been talking about whenever you have sex with a woman, you exchange energy with her?
Yeah, they always talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm a whore.
I was thinking about that shit the other day.
Do you believe you exchange energy with all your whores?
Not all my horrors, but all the women I sleep with. Like, there's a few women that I'm like, yeah, they'll never forgive me. Like, I shape their lives through their cervix. What?
Hey. Make that connection.
So,
I like some sex you have in your life.
Devontae said, no, not me. I don't have any hoes laying around. Okay.
No, I feel like some certain sex.
Is she still listening to the podcast?
I feel like
I mean, there's just some situations where I feel like maybe my energy is transferred to them, but their energy is certainly not transferred to me. I'm sorry, who are you?
What was that Jay-Z song? On to the next one?
yeah, it's like sometimes like you're just like, I don't care about you.
Right, but I mean,
I'm awful.
But you know, you've been in that situation where it's all casual until you don't want to do that shit no more, and then all of a sudden, no, who the fuck are you, nigga, to tell me? You know,
I love you.
It's like,
I'm crazy.
Yeah.
It's like you try to warn them. I am not ready for love.
All right, we've gotten
Have you ever told
very far off track.
Have you ever told women that, Jabbar?
No, I'm not ready for love.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I've ever like gotten to a point where a woman's told me I love you, and I've had
when you didn't feel that same way.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Have you felt it, Tiffany?
I mean,
You've been on this.
so a lot of women. Yeah, you're older than me, dog.
He's an OG, bro.
So a lot of women that I've dealt with, they're not gonna say it until you return that energy, but their actions speak it. And it's like, oh shit, yeah, fuck, you know.
I mean, you
just don't cough up.
We don't
just luck up, man. You have the unconditional love.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. It's like you just have that unconditional love.
Yeah, man. I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about, to be honest.
Yeah, we're all over the place.
Yeah.
Come on, host.
Bro, I'm 2 shots in.
I'm
enjoying myself. Y'all want to get into some like real shit real quick, and then we get to a health topic and get out of here because we're already hour 21 minutes in.
Oh wow!
And like honestly,
Tivante loved it, man.
I don't know how much. Fuck. All right,
a few more drinks in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to chill
shot?
for a second, but I just, let's get off the pod. But let's talk about some real shit real quick. I want to talk about. Do you guys want to just get to the health topic? Content of the week can be done.
We can get health topic.
All right, because I feel like we did a good music review. We did that at Detroit too.
Yeah,
good album. Maybe not for some of us, but definitely take a listen. Yeah. Juice WRLD, Pop Smoke, still in rotation.
I mean, I feel like all three of us agree. We ain't gonna listen to it a bunch.
I got 2 songs I'm gonna listen to a bunch, but
what songs are those again?
Deep Reverence and Respected.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty good, especially if you're in the gym. Pretty good.
Yeah.
But who else? Anybody else drop music? ASAP Nas. I'm gonna play a closer. Designer Boy. Yeah. So it was so weird how I found that song. Like it literally just came into rotation after a week of me going through a phase of reshaping my love life and like where I'm at right now. And truthfully, like it was just great vibes, like I'm definitely like not searching for anything. I'm not talking to anyone. I'm aware of non-negotiables that I want. And if I have a jump that comes through, hopefully she's down into fashion like me and I'm gonna throw her out and we're gonna do some of the finer things in life. But like that's just how I feel. But it's a dope little song. It also like reshaped the conversation of ASAP Ferg, ASAP Nas versus ASAP Ills and ASAP Bari, and like without question, dog, like those 2 niggas are tripping. Just tripping. But that's all I had to say on that. Anybody else drop new music? Tekashi, we handled that. Dirk hasn't dropped new yet, but he still says he's coming. But
yeah, I think he's waiting, bro.
Joji still hasn't dropped his tape yet. I'm waiting for that shit.
Did y'all any old guys in here listen to
the Locks album?
No, the Nas album.
Yeah. We talked about that last week.
Lil Durk dropped a single last week that I did like called "The Voice."
Okay, did you? I heard about that. We talked about Bryson Tiller. Yeah,
Bryson Tiller was cheats.
Huh?
I thought it was cheats.
Cheats? Like you didn't appreciate it?
I like it.
It's okay. It's not for niggas that haven't felt it before. I'm telling you, like, bro, like you only know how hard you loved her till she's gone. And
what Bryson Tiller?
You gonna hear a lot of new music differently.
You gonna seek the song.
Nah, bro. Even like when I'm happy.
Yeah,
even when I'm happy, I like to listen to.
He was spitting. Go listen to the lyrics of that shit, bro. He was spitting on that song.
Like I listen to Future even when I'm happy.
Future has some happy songs.
Yeah,
I like to go to dark Future when I'm happy.
Yeah, Future's got different sides.
I kind of don't know what that means. You should have been here 2 weeks ago when we were talking about like searching for sad music to make ourselves feel depressed.
We did talk about
Go back and listen to that episode.
What songs do you look for today?
I mean, honestly.
Nigga didn't ask me because he knows exactly where I'm going to go.
Lil Peep?
To Lil Peep, Juice WRLD, Lil Uzi.
I'm at the point where I'm looking for like lyrical content.
The Weeknd.
You know what song?
Bryson Tiller, Black, like.
You know what song?
Oh, actually, Black Bear. We didn't talk about him on the pod, but he dropped an album this year that was pretty good.
Yeah, you know what I go to when I'm feeling bad?
I feel you so good.
I go to Wasted. Recently, I've been listening to Wasted Times.
Wasted Times. I slept with someone else.
Ooh.
No, but
You
for
listen to that too?
My Dear Melancholy by The Weeknd is a great breakup song.
He said, "What's even
Or
half
album.
for you?"
Damn.
You let that bitch know.
Who do you belong to now? Okay.
That nigga has some.
All right.
Listen,
Okay.
hey, you know
hold
what
up,
song randomly
hold up,
came up
hold
the
up.
other day?
Bottle it.
The Party and After Party.
Bottle it.
Yeah, y'all
Listen,
going
Devontae. Bottle it. We're gonna let's get into the health topic of the week so we can get you guys out of here with the bullshit. It's been a fun episode for us. Hopefully it's been a fun episode for y'all. But let's get into a coronavirus topic real quick. Just a little like talk about how vigilant you have to be on your own about this because some news came out that was pretty appalling. So it came out this week that renowned writer, reporter, investigative journalist Tom Bedford has done or had done an interview with it's Tom Bedford, right? What's his name?
Tom Bedford, yeah.
Yeah. Had done an interview with the 45th president of the United States,
DT.
Donald Trump, on February 7th, 2020, about coronavirus, how dangerous it is, and how scared Americans should be. And Trump is quoted not only like through memo, but also on audio saying the coronavirus is worse, more deadly, and a lot more scarier
Then he's letting on.
than the flu. And he is not going to inform Americans about that, even if he himself believes that this to be the case.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to cause mass panic. So, mainstream media is going about this interestingly. You know, CNN, MSNBC are firing the lights and sirens. The Young Turks are giving good opinions on it. Fox News is misdirecting on it. You know, all I want to say is that after talking to a good friend over the week about where he stood on this situation, it just goes to show you, man, that if you have not made up your minds on where you're voting this year based off of candidates who have been presented to you, just think about how egotistic it is to not only have information that a disease is deadly and to deny that information from the public that a disease is deadly. But to hear somebody deny that information and say, yo, you know what? I have this information that could save hundreds of thousands of Americans' lives and change millions of Americans' lifestyles, right?
Right.
I'm going to keep and hold on to that information in the pure pursuit of greed.
And it's not just even keeping and holding on to the information. It's actively lying. Like when you're not wearing a mask in public, when you're not denouncing certain states that are not, shutting down in that time. Because this was what, February?
When you're actively, February. This is February. This is before the shutdown.
You knew what states needed to do in order to protect us from this deadly virus that you knew was deadly, apparently.
Before you started freaking out about toilet paper, Donald Trump knew how bad this disease was.
And he actively went about his way in making sure that he told you that it wasn't deadly. Because we have quotes, right?
Yeah, quotes.
It's going to go away. It's just like the common flu.
The heat in April should destroy this.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, he actively lied, knowing what he knew. I thought it before when he said that it was just he didn't know. He's a dumbass nigga. But no, he actually knew what he was doing. He knew what he was saying. And
second, what the Young Turks have really been preaching on, which I think is a very interesting opinion, is on the values Tom Bedford implemented by holding on to this interview.
Yeah.
All the way until September to, in their opinion, raise your revenue on your book sales.
Yeah.
Is so fucking unethical.
Yeah.
That it should be just as inflammatory. Well, not just as. It should be inflammatory. Maybe not as much as inflammatory as the President of the United States withholding this information from millions of Americans. But you yourself, as an investigative, quote-unquote, journalist, should be ashamed of yourself, right? And I think more so, it just goes into this weird American ideal of like, or not ideal, but this American drive to like be a hoarder of wealth, you know?
Yep.
Because I feel like at every stage of life,
yep,
Americans strive to be or to have a hoard of wealth.
Yeah.
For various different reasons. And I'm not out here to hate on anybody who's thinking about, getting a good job to make sure their kids are set up, make sure you live the life you want to live. But I'm talking about niggas that like, literally like, I'm trying to figure out what I can be so I can be the next fucking Bill Gates. I can be the next Elon Musk. I can be the next Jeff Bezos. And not in the sense of, I want to innovate the next thing to make Americans or human life better on this planet or more advanced.
Right.
I'm trying to be a fucking trillionaire. I'm trying to be a billionaire. I'm trying to be a millionaire. Like, to me, like, at this point in my life, like, that type of shit, like, really shows a lot about your character to me. Because to me, it's like, it's all foo-foo at the end of the day. It's all promissory note. It's all doesn't mean, unless you're doing something that you value and it brings value to this unnecessary existence. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, what's the point? To make more money, there's always gonna be more money. But I feel like, and it's not everybody, and I don't want to say it's just the fault of Americans, because it's something that's pushed on us from the day we're born. Consumerism, hoard wealth. But it has gotten to the point where you have investigative journalists who are supposed to be the fourth branch of government and keep checks on the president, literally withholding information that shows the president is lying about a disease for months. And because remember, we didn't start at 180,000 deaths.
Yeah.
We gradually built to that. And at every step of the way, this nigga said, we're fine.
Yeah, we're good.
My book's coming out. Yep. They're about to know my name. And that's why all I want to say is clout chasing, greed, and the idea that you need to hoard wealth to be happy is one of the unhealthiest things that can be done by Americans at this point in time.
Yeah.
Like, help your neighbor, bro. If you have information, if you have resources that you are more than able to, like, give to the next man in need, like, do that shit, bro. Like, the fuck is wrong with y'all, man? Especially when it's information, dog. Like, how selfish can you be?
Yeah, information regarding a pandemic. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a pandemic that's killing thousands, hundreds of thousands of humans.
And not even just in the way like the pandemic and the virus is killing humans, but the fact that millions of Americans have lost jobs. Because of that, millions of Americans have lost health insurance. Because of that, millions of Americans have gotten desperate. Because of that, millions of Americans' mental health has gone to waste. There's going to be, like, and it's this weird thing where, like, remember how, or how Republicans are trying to say, in healthcare, they've just been told to label everything a cause of, a death as a cause or result of COVID, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but never once have on the cause of death you put COVID. Now, did the patient have COVID? Yeah, or maybe. But was COVID the cause? That's not a cause. That's not like a cause of death. There's respiratory failure. There's like the heart. There's real shit you put on the shit.
Yeah.
It's an inflammatory statement. But in my opinion, if you want to attribute deaths to COVID, you got to look at everything COVID has caused. And that's not just deaths that happen from an individual dying of a sickness or a comorbidity of COVID. It's an individual who dies because they fucking took their own life through suicide because they lost their job that they were using to feed their estranged child. Or, you know, it's individuals who maybe this winter aren't going to have a place to fucking live because they got evicted and because they weren't able to pay rent because the government only gave them $1,200 and didn't give out a stimulus or a furlough to make sure they stayed alive, like, make sure they stayed housed. Like, there's going to be
cause of COVID.
Millions of people's lives have been negatively affected by 2 men. 2 men. Like, let that fucking sink in.
Yeah, man.
Jesus fucking Christ. But just be vigilant, guys. Like, be vigilant. Because, I mean, in February, we were all, I was like, yo, COVID, like, what? Like, is that a real thing?
Yeah, I mean, is it really going
to I was just starting at my new job. Yeah. Literally. I was really like, yo, COVID, is this really this?
Foot in the door.
Yeah, like, things were murky, but
shit got crazy.
Someone
was telling the truth. The CDC and the WHO were telling y'all, like, yo, like, be cautious, be cautious.
Yeah, and the president wasn't. And he has the nerve to say this is the China virus. They didn't tell us anything.
Exactly.
But he knew in the beginning.
Exactly.
He knew.
Exactly. So my health advice, dog, is be vigilant. Take information from multiple
white people.
Take information from multiple sources.
You think I'm putting don't trust white?
And then be kind to the next man. Do what you can.
Donald Trump.
And try not to think just solely about your greed, man. If you have resources that can help others, help them out. And go vote. But yeah, so that's that for the health content of the week. I just wanted to highlight that story because I thought it was very inappropriate as people who are supposed to be public servants. Because at the end of the day, that's what politicians are. Supposed to be public servants.
They're supposed to work for us. We ain't supposed to work
We pay their fucking salaries. But now, let's get to the content of the week. Y'all got anything funny for niggas to watch to help relieve them of some stress?
I've been watching The Chi. I finished it all the way up to where it is now.
The new season, yeah, that's a good show.
You watched it too?
Oh yeah, I've been a fan of The Chi when it came out.
I liked it a lot, bro. That dude Emmett on there,
he's funny.
Yeah, he's funny and he a whore.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never seen The Chi.
You gotta watch, bro. You gotta watch, like,
The Chi's
like, bro is like supposed to be under our age. He's supposed to only be like
in his 20s.
Like, nah,
you're talking about Emmett?
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be younger than that.
Yeah, I think like 20,
like 20. Like, he's no more.
Is that the nigga? Is he played by the nigga that got the sexual?
No.
So
they did a weird. I'm not gonna give it away. But
did you read about his situation?
Yeah, it was. I'll talk about it off air. It's like so weird because it was like more of like he was confused at what vibe she was getting.
No, listen, we're not talking about the actual act. I'm talking about
the character of the show.
No. So it was the guy that played Eazy-E in
Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah, no. But I'm
he was like the main.
He was a main character.
Yeah, so he wasn't. All my question was that actor?
No, it's not him. My bad.
Cool.
But no,
all right,
cool.
So,
it's like this.
So
He got bitches on there.
Watch The Chi. That is.
It's got black people.
Devontae's content of the week.
It's got black people in it.
Tete, do you have content of the week?
I mean, I think we talked about this last week, but I mean, really, Lovecraft Country. Like, people need to watch that.
Okay.
Yeah. Lovecraft Country takes place in Jim Crow South, 1960s.
You've probably seen previews for
1950s, 1960s.
So it's no like witchcraft in
That's the thing. So it's a sci-fi movie or show that takes place in Jim Crow South. I mean,
is it good?
It's great.
Why can't you take me to the future where we rule over what?
No, because like it's like
because they.
Do you watch Westworld?
I do watch Westworld, but Westworld is all white. White robots.
I don't know Westworld.
Look at you. Slaves to the people.
No. Westworld is great. I love Westworld.
It's so hard. I hear HBO produces amazing shit.
But there's no fictional sci-fi show or movie that takes place in the Jim Crow South. Like, they're having to deal with racism. We feel like we're dealing with racism, but we're dealing with racism in a subtle way.
This is show on. I got HBO Max.
Said what? Pussy showing.
I said you saw me pick the show on.
Oh, all right. So that's Love Country. Tete's.
I'm gonna look at
Tete's fucking
you
content of the week. My content of the week is a new show my friend Bimmy introduced to me. It's called Woke. It's on Hulu. It's a comedy, and it just
all right. I gotta check that out.
All right, but we're gonna end with a closing song by A$AP Nas. It's called Designer Boy. Before we go, I just want to say appreciate y'all for listening. I had the episode wrong. This is episode 50, so we got 2 more episodes, and then we're gonna be taking a little break. We'll be coming back January 1st for season 2 of this shit. Got a lot of new shit coming. We're gonna be on video.
Okay.
We're gonna have a YouTube page up. I'm telling y'all this now because if you listen to this episode, honestly, you probably been sticking around with niggas for a little bit, but it's gonna be good. Appreciate y'all. Have a good week. Love y'all. Peace.
Peace.
What you want, 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 what you want. Fendi bag, Prada shoes, the leaks on me, Saint Laurent, chrome heart, let's see I get drip, man, the list go on. CDG, GDC, spend a check right on me, Louis chest, Prada vest. I ain't here to say too much, nah. No, I ain't here to say too much, nah.
Okay, come to God like the boy, she can take the Prada off. Drive around in my Benz, top is there, she see the stars. Idle out, stand wild. I know that she like it wild. Shopping sprees, Nike tees, ACGs, all on me. Ice up on the Ainsley, designer when you bury me. Fuck you with my jealous sheets, why you so in love with me? Shopping day to Italy, dinner day to Sicily. Off-white fish consistently, shout out to my nigga V.
What you want, 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 what you want. Fendi bag, Prada shoes, the leaks on me, Saint Laurent, chrome heart, let's see I get drip, man, the list go on. CDG, GDC, spend a check right on me, Louis chest, Prada vest. I ain't here to say too much, nah. No, I ain't here to say too much, nah.
Fuck you on Bellini, while we watching TV. I be in the knee deep, and that we moving creepy. All because you beat me. Pull up, I hit a ski, designer boy like DG. Take off that Supreme tee, cause I don't like Supreme tees. Pussy wet like squeegee, I'ma dive in it like deep sea. Your ex nigga can't see me, cause I'm in APC jeans. Mix that with the BD, that's brain that gang like ENG. This triple techno friendly.
What you want, 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 what you want. Fendi bag, Prada shoes, the leaks on me, Saint Laurent, chrome heart, let's see I get drip, man, the list go on. CDG, GDC, spend a check right on me, Louis chest, Prada vest. I ain't here to say too much, nah. No, I ain't here to say too much, nah. No, I ain't here to say too much, nah. No, I ain't here to say too much, nah.